Thank you. It's my truly honor, and I'm really grateful for the practice. It just has been like almost 2 weeks, but I found definitely changes in my body and my mind. I have a question. It's about mindfulness and fear. Uh, like days before, people mentioned about the fear of losing loved ones.
Yes.
I think I have the fear of losing them and also seeing them suffering. Like for example, my parents get old, so I worry about, oh, will they get the virus? And then my mom called me yesterday and she said, oh, I lost weight. It's like maybe 8% of weight in just in half a year. And then I suddenly like Google like why older people lose weight and what's the reason? And then there is like maybe you have
More
cancer,
worry.
maybe you have diabetes, and then it's really overwhelming. And then suddenly I'm scared. It's like, oh, I don't want my mom be ill. So this fear really wakes me up during the night, and then I
Yeah.
I don't know how to use mindfulness to co-op this like rehearsal tragedy
Yeah.
every time and also
Well,
be brave.
how long have you been practicing?
Sorry,
How long have you been practicing mindfulness as a kind of formal meditation practice?
formal meditation last week, but I'm doing yoga for maybe 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, in any event, it's a wonderful question. And I think all of us probably resonate with that. And, I don't remember if I mentioned this or not, but my parents are long gone, and I'm really happy that they're gone because I mean, I wouldn't be able to see them, I mean, um, this is a horrible situation for people who are, have elderly parents that even if they're close to them, they can't go and see them. And and then I think, hey, wait a minute, I'm elderly. I'm in the high risk category. I mean, I could be dead in a week. I mean, if I get the coronavirus, so it's very much in all of our faces in some way or other. And the young people are dying as well. So your question really comes back to the meditation that we were doing, and how are we going to be in relationship to our thoughts and emotions when they arise? Because at the moment when you're asleep and then you wake up in the middle of the night, there's nothing you can do to help your parents or make them be safer. And they, of course, are worried about you worrying about them. So it's a kind of crazy vicious cycle where it's not doing any good at all. It's like you're spinning wheels, but you're not doing any kind of real work. And it's a waste of energy. So when we see that the mind is doing that, you can't force the mind to stop doing that in the same way as you can't put a big plexiglass plate on the ocean to prevent it from waving. It's in the nature of the mind to wave. And especially under these kinds of circumstances, it's going to go crazy. But you don't have to go crazy just because your mind is getting a little agitated. You can exercise this muscle, as we're talking about, of mindfulness or awareness, where you can hold all of that and then see that, and you can ask yourself, are my thoughts about the future uh, true? And you'd have to say, I don't know. I mean, basically, you'd have to say, ultimately, I don't know. No matter how much you want to build the story of how vulnerable your parents are, ultimately, you don't know today in this moment. So if you learn to actually be okay with that not knowing just for now, not for tomorrow, but just for now, then that gives you a new way to be in relationship with fear. And it's applicable to everything, not just your parents, not just the coronavirus, but where your food's going to come from tomorrow, or whatever it is that you're concerned with, or if you start to develop a cough, or whatever it is. So I can tell you, and I've said this many times, if I had ever found anything in my own life, because I found mindfulness when I was in my very early, 20, 21 years old. If I had ever found anything after that period of time that was more healing, more transformative, more illuminating than mindfulness meditation, do you think I'd still be doing mindfulness meditation? No, I'd be doing whatever it was that was the more powerful thing of the, in more than 55 years, I've never found anything remotely as healing, as transformative, as promoting of profound, deep interconnectedness and love and common sense and intelligence as mindfulness. And I think that's one of the reasons that it's now spreading like in a positive way, like a meme, not a virus, but a meme around the world, because we need all the help we can get. And wouldn't it be ironic if the solutions are already baked right into us, but we're always looking outside for fixes or kind of rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic, so to speak, and not waking up to the fact that, hey, the boat itself has a problem. Okay. And you can liberate yourself from this source of suffering in yourself. You don't know what will happen with your parents. You don't even know what will happen with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But the not knowing is a place where you can find some kind of comfort and maybe get back to sleep and then maybe connect with your parents in a better way. Because when you're worried about your parents, they can feel it if you're having a conversation with them. Meanwhile, they're worried about you. Meanwhile, how much does that help anybody? But if you're mindful, then you can draw your parents out to like reassure them, but they can hear it in your voice, not in what you say, but in how you are. And so in that sense, since your parents are not going to live forever, you're not going to live forever, I'm not going to live forever, and nobody on this call is going to live forever. Making use of the time we have, which is always just right now, will allow us to live in a much fuller way. And then when it's time to die, we'll die. And hopefully it will be not alone. But now at this moment, many people, they're dying alone because the family can't be there and so forth. So it's not to minimize the nightmare that certain people are going through at the moment, but it's to say, don't create nightmares for yourself that are not true for you at this particular moment in time if you can't do anything to relieve the suffering of others. If you can do anything to relieve the suffering of others, do it. Let's all do that. That's kind of like the root karmic assignment of compassion and wakefulness. It's not all about me, but we have to know who we are to liberate ourselves from that I, me, and mine. Thank you for that. And good luck. Say hello to your parents for me.
Thank you, Jon. Thank you, Jon. Namaste.